All right, hey guys. So I just got done. I just left the gig, and it was good. It was good. I actually felt confident. Um, there's always little rocky parts, but all in all, I can say that I was pleased with the show, which is something that honestly I have trouble saying a lot because I'm so critical of myself. So felt good about it. Hanging out with my brother was really, actually, incredibly awesome. And sorry, a cop just passed me. I get so nervous around cops. So yeah, it went well. It makes me kind of like, okay, well, let's just keep going. Maybe this is something I could add to the Shayla stuff. Is just keep playing more shows, get more confident on stage. I talked to one of my really close friends, Christina. Her fiance, Isaac, is a really cool guy, and he's actually a vocal coach at a high school, and he knows his stuff. And they were both at the show, which was great. It was awesome seeing both of them because they live in Houston. I'm in College Station, so I don't get to see them often. So that was great. And he said he already had some ideas of, like, I asked him a while back about maybe doing some coaching with me, giving me some vocal lessons, because a lot of singing, if you don't know, is just about breathing and about controlling your airflow, which is something I've never practiced. And so he said he has some ideas that we can work on, and so hopefully that'll come to fruition. We could get that going, so that'll be fun. But anyways, also one thing I wanted to talk about is Jimmy and I actually had a talk, and he was really encouraged, by the weight loss and everything. And in case you don't know, some of you may not know this, my brother's like a pretty, I guess, pretty well-known Christian artist. He's made several records and has had some good success in the business and everything. So he's always been that guy who's a really strong foundation in the Lord, has a really strong foundation in the Lord, really solid. I mean, someone I've always admired. Like, he's just a rock. He's awesome. And so one thing we talked about is just the idea of, oh, this is great. The idea of the fact that I'm fixing my outer man, my outer self, by dieting and exercise. But I'm not necessarily focusing so much on my inner man. I know that's kind of a artsy way of saying just my spiritual life. And honestly, that's something I've been thinking about a lot. I used to have a fervent, wonderful, healthy relationship with Christ. And I spent hours a day just soaking in who he was and who he is. And yeah, along with the weight gain came apathy and disregard for the Lord. And so yeah, I think it's due time to get back to where I was. I'm fixing myself. Why don't I fix my inner self? And so he said I told him, like, well, maybe a good time would be like right after I finish juicing, and maybe the vlog will become more about learning self-control in terms of eating, because that's going to be a huge thing. And maybe I can couple that with seeking the Lord more, like spending time in the Word and just staying accountable to that too. And he's like, okay, well, why not start now? Why does it have to be in 9 days or whatever, whenever the juicing is done? And so, it was good. It's good to hear that, And honestly, he's right. But man, I'll tell you, I mean, this might end up being tougher than juicing. This might end up being tougher than anything. Because falling in love with someone where the love on your end has grown stale is tough. Re-falling in love, falling back in love, that's hard. Because I've allowed it to grow stagnant, and reigniting that can be an uphill battle, but it's for the best. I don't know. I know that there were many points in my life where Christ was the only thing I treasured, the only thing I cared about. And somewhere along the line, my infatuation shifted to other things. And I kind of spread my love around to a bunch of different lovers, in the sense of music, food, self. And so as the scriptures say, I've hewed cisterns that can't hold water. I've come up broken and empty, and yet there's a living source of water around the corner, and it's not far off. And I can truthfully say there's no time that I look back on with more regret, with more, I guess, jealousy than my time when I was super close to the Lord. Not because I felt like a good person, but because I was truly satisfied. I truly knew what it meant to feel peace. Like, I haven't felt peace and love for myself and love for anything in a long time. Like, I haven't felt loved in a long time. And, it's easy to forget what it is to be loved. And I have a source of love, endless, abounding, insatiable, nuts love right around the corner. And I've been digging up cisterns that can't hold water. I've been seeking things that I've been chasing the wind for a long time. For, definitely this past year, but it's just been a slow fade, a slow decline. And so I want to get back to the place where Christ is my treasure. And I know that may not make sense to some of you. I don't know how many of you know Jesus or care about Jesus, but every time I think back on those times, I think my biggest regret is choosing other loves, choosing to run other places. Because, look where it's got me. I'm 100 pounds heavier. I have strongholds that are hard to break. Yeah. So, I'm going to make it part of my goal to spend time in the Word, in the Bible, every day. um, 20 minutes. And I'm going to make that a new thing, a new part of this journey of relearning what it means to be loved and what it means to be satisfied in Christ. So, yeah, that's it. It was a long vlog, but I'm just being honest. And so, if you love Jesus, pray for me. If you don't love Jesus, pray for me. I don't. Yeah, it's gonna be tough because every inclination of my heart is gonna want to fight against it. Every inclination of my flesh, rather, because my heart, I know, has been captured by Christ, but I've let my flesh harden my heart. So I got to re-soften it through His power. This may sound like spiritual mumbo jumbo to most of you, or to some of you, I don't know, but take it for what it's worth. I'm changing inside along with the outside. Have a good night, guys.